Coming up in this episode of Rebel Report, we hear from the new faces on this year's Runnin Rebel team.
Then we recap the Raiders' eventful season to this point.
And we will hear from the Rebellion, UNLV's student section, on how they bring the spirit to every Rebel game.
Welcome to Studio B on the campus of UNLV. This is the Rebel Report. I'm Isaac Paulialunga.
And I'm Alex Wright. Before we dive into the local sports news of the week, we want to tell you what we're all about.
Every week we cover UNLV athletics, the games, the events, the athletes, and the coaches.
But we're also here to cover all the major sporting events happening in Southern Nevada.
Let's begin with our top story. The Runnin Rebels returned to the Thomas & Mack Center following two tough losses at the Roman main event for a matchup against the Whittier Poets. After a slow start, head coach Kevin Kruger made some adjustments to the lineup, and the second team came out and provided an immediate spark that propelled the Rebels to a 101-45 win. Justin Webster led UNLV with 17 points off the bench, and Marvin Coleman had 12. UNLV picked up 61 total bench points. Here's what Kevin Kruger talking about the importance of the second unit.
And especially that second group, they went out and took advantage of the minutes that they had out there, and just went out and played hard, played fun, and kind of separated the teams there and kind of widened the gap a little bit, and just kind of never looked back. But
the Runnin Rebels hosted the number 2 ranked UCLA Bruins. The Rebels struggled early, finding themselves down 14-2. The Rebels found some success later in the first half, cutting the lead down to 3 midway through the half. However, another Bruins run increased their lead to 15 going into the half. 14 minutes into the second, UNLV cut the lead down to single digits. However, a 12-point UCLA run was too much. The Bruins would maintain their lead with the final score of 73-51.
Next up, we have a group of some familiar faces and some new for our Runnin Rebels as they look to make a run this year.
It's been amazing to just be able to just be with a group of guys that you know that have your back and you have theirs.
Camaraderie, we locked in. Like, I treat all these dudes like my mom had them. Like, it's all love around here, for real. Even the coaches, it's all love. It's all a big family.
When we play, it's more of like I'm playing for my family. I'm playing for my brother. Like I said, being a Rebel, it feels like a family.
Having the new faces and the new kind of start to our era here while we're here, but we got a bunch of guys that just are happy to be here. They want to be here. They want to play for UNLV. They want to represent the school, the university, and I think that's something that, as a former player, makes me proud to see them out there. Proud to be here, happy to be here, and excited.
I think the identity that we're trying to create is definitely defensively.
He has to be built around a lot of grit. Our goal is to go as far as we can in the tournament. And we want to wake some people up. Our goal is to be in the Final Four. Come March, come April.
Playing hard, being a dog, wanting to win, doing anything you got to do to win, and that's the identity we want to give off. Like, they're gonna play hard. They're gonna punch you, fight you, push you. Anything they got to do to win, they're gonna do it.
I think it's an identity based solely around toughness. I think that's the one thing that people appreciate about us. Our defense. Not being pushovers. I think now people are starting to really recognize us and give us that respect.
That's something that we take pride in. We're going to compete on the defensive end. We're going to run on the offensive end. That's something that we're going to keep on getting better at. We have our flaws, but we're going to get better every single day and get better throughout the season.
you know, our identity, and so far it's been great, is you know, we want the city, the community, the alums, the you know, former players, the current students, you know, just to be proud, you know, to go and see the team, watch them on TV, you know, leave the Thomas and Mack, and just be happy and proud of them and excited to wear their UNLV basketball stuff around, because they're proud of the team that plays here every night, and they're proud to support them.
You want to fill these stands up. You want to fill the seats up. You want people to, you know, come out and enjoy, you know, watching the games. You know, I'm being something and someone that, you know, people want to come out and see and want to come out and support and want to come out and enjoy and have a good time to watch. Like, that makes me feel good, and it makes me want to come out here every day and practice. And, you know, when these seats are empty and the lights are off, like, that's what keeps us going, to come in and get extra shots up, come in and, you know, put the work in, because we want people to want to come watch the games.
Make sure to check out UNLV Athletics for Runnin' Rebel games, schedule, and go support our new Runnin' Rebels. The Vegas Golden Knights are celebrating their 5th season in the desert, but there is another hockey team in Vegas that is also making some noise.
We go to Rebel reporter Emmett Kenny for more.
UNLV hockey has been around since the 2005 season. They are part of the American Collegiate Hockey Association, Division I, and there is a lot of preparation that goes into making game day happen, especially for road trips.
For a road trip, like we're preparing, we fly out a day early, we get in really early, we'll have a skate, like Thursday night, we'll skate as a team wherever we're at, have a team meal. Friday morning they get up, do breakfast, we'll do film later in the day, and then they get a nap. We do a team meeting right before our team dinner, and then we're off to the rink and we're playing the game.
Rebels benefited when the Golden Knights were announced, as they were allowed to use the same practice facilities as the Golden Knights, and it gives them an added edge in the competition.
Yeah, it's awesome. Obviously, when you go play other schools in a way, you go see their rinks, and you come back here and you see how fortunate we are to come practice here every day and get to play here and have such a new facility and have all the Golden Knights guys around and everything. So it's nice to see hockey start to boom in Vegas.
It's amazing. What a beautiful facility that CNA is, and we're so fortunate to be able to play out of it. Our locker room is really nice. We have an excellent fan base that comes and cheers hard every night, and it makes it so fun to play in this area, and I'm really happy that I chose UNLV.
Well, it's state of the art, so you get to play on NHL ice every day, treated well. The staff here takes care of us. We have our own locker room, as you can see, gym upstairs, so we're definitely spoiled and lucky to be here.
And as for a game day experience, this is the place to be for some ACHA action.
I would just say electric, and that's because of the fans. That's because people show up and support us night in and night out. I'd also say that we're a good hockey team, so whenever we step in here, there's a good chance that we're going to come out with a win if we play the way that we should. So I would use the term electric, and all the credit for that goes to the fan base.
Yeah, no, I think, like for our league, we probably have some of the best fans in the league, if not the best. The place gets crazy. You fill all the stands up, everybody in the bar, students around the boards. Once we score a goal, this place goes bananas. So it's a great atmosphere.
If you haven't experienced it, I'd expect you should come out and see it, because it gets really loud in here. We got a great production team for our walkouts when we're doing the starting lineup. Great production. It's really loud in here on game days when we score, and fans get into it. So it's nice and it's electric. So I'm sure if anyone comes to watch, will have some fun.
The Rebels still have a couple more home games left in this semester, as Arizona State comes to town to take on the Rebels on December 10th and 11th, with puck drop set for 7:30 at City National Arena. For Rebel Report, I'm Emmett Kenny.
Thanksgiving weekend, the Golden Knights took on the Edmonton Oilers. It was all Edmonton early with 2 early first-period goals. Early in the second, Jesse Puljujarvi added to Edmonton's lead. The Golden Knights would not go down without a fight. Chandler Stevenson and Riley Smith each scored to cut the deficit to 1, but Edmonton would hang on to win 3-2.
Earlier in the week, the Knights visited the St. Louis Blues. The Golden Knights scored the first goal of the game, not even a minute into the period. Chandler Stevenson rebounded the puck and shot it in the net right after it was deflected by Blues goalie Jordan Binnington. After about 6 minutes of play, Riley Smith extended the Knights' lead to 2-0. The Blues would later tie the game later that period and later take a 5-2 lead. That was too much for the Knights to overcome. The final score of the game was 5-2.
The Golden Knights also traveled to Nashville, and Chandler Stevenson gets the scoring started with under a minute to go in the first period. The Golden Knights got goals from Johannes Ronenberg and Adam Brooks to take a 3-goal lead heading into the third, and they would hold on to win by a score of 5-2 over Nashville.
Sitting at 6-5, the Raiders are currently in the thick of one of the most competitive AFC playoff races in recent memory. Here's Brandon Steele with a look back on the instant classic between the Raiders and the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day.
I just want to be a part of the moment it changes, you know. I want that so bad. And that's what keeps driving me. You know, I get pissed off and I get upset and I stand up here, and I've done this way too many times than I'd like to do it. You know, because in my heart, the men in our room, the way we work, the way we go after things, it shouldn't always end like this crap.
Coming off of the 3-game losing streak, it was time for change. Derek Carr and his Las Vegas Raiders would travel into Dallas to take on America's team and the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day, searching for a win. After being beat up by the Cincinnati Bengals the week before, on 4 days rest, nobody thought the Raiders could win this game on Thanksgiving, especially when Darren Waller would go out with an injury. Yet adversity has been the entire theme of this Raiders season. They would not shy away as they would find their other weapons in Hunter Renfrow, Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, and even Zay Jones. In front of 80,000 Cowboys fans inside Jerry's World and breaking an NFL viewership record, 39 million watching around the world, Derek Carr would lead his Las Vegas Raiders into Arlington and walk away with a victory. In an overtime thriller, the Raiders would end up defeating the Dallas Cowboys 36-33.
Coming up on the rundown, Jose and Christian break down the Runnin Rebels season as they prepare to soon begin Mountain West play.
Tired of boring sports talk shows that don't even cover the Las Vegas area? Want a sports show that's available for you at any time? Well, you're in luck because Rebel Report is just for you. The Rebel Report covers all the local sports stories in the Las Vegas area. You can visit their website at rebelreportunlv.com, where you can find all of the student-written and produced stories, shows, interviews, and much more. You can also visit their YouTube channel at Rebel Report UNLV for shows and exclusive interviews. The Rebel Report is the way to go for Las Vegas sports.
Welcome to the Rundown, where this week we discuss all Runnin Rebels. I'm Christian Frias.
And I'm Jose Tabares.
So, the Runnin Rebels, basketball.
Yes.
This season, how has it gone? How is it going? And where will it be in the future? Thank you for coming on the show. What do you think, man? What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Runnin Rebels obviously got to a good start, 3-0 start. And they went into that Roman event tournament with number 4 ranked Michigan, Arizona, and Wichita State, where they faced a number 4 Michigan first. And leading up to that game, the Rebels were doing really good, a 3-0 start, and they get their taste of tough opponents with that Roman event. And against Michigan, they kept up all the way up till halftime. They went on like a 9-0 run to end the half, down by single digits. So they kind of lost it a little bit in the second half, but the same thing with the next game with Wichita State, a very good team, and they only lost by 1. they lost by like the last bucket. So they also faced number 2 ranked UCLA, and they've had a tough schedule compared to the rest of the Mountain West. They've arguably had like the toughest schedule facing 2 ranked teams. So other than the recent losses, I think they are in a new positive direction with a tons of new faces. So I think for the rest of the season, I think they'll be doing good.
So now that you mentioned new faces,
Right.
we have Jordan McCabe, Donovan Williams, Bryce Hamilton, not Bryce, but Royce Ham Jr. And they've been playing exquisitely well. Just seeing how they've been gelling together. Can you speak on them? Because I know you've been in the back scenes speaking with them. So how's that going?
Right, and UNLV took on 10 transfers, plus a freshman. So this is a very new team. This is a new team, and not only with Kevin Kruger taking the head coach job. So this is a very new team. A lot of seniors that this is their last like opportunity to, make a run for the tournament and stuff like that. So the team's fired up, and Kevin Kruger does seem to be like calm, cool, and collected. But like during practices, he's fired up, like getting the players going and stuff like that. And some of the players to highlight: Royce Ham, stepping it up, playing center; Jordan McCabe being that a playmaker, being that voice for the team and stuff like that; and Donovan Williams, which has been that great like second option for UNLV.
Well, thank you for coming on the show today and giving your insights on the Runnin Rebels basketball season. There's a lot more to come, so we're just going to pass it back to the desk.
Up next, an inside look at what it takes to put on an episode of Rebel Report.
Every episode of the Rebel Report takes a lot of work and commitment.
Let's see what our reporter Kyle Randolph has to show you guys about the inside information of filming episode 5 of the Rebel Report.
Hello UNLV Rebels and Rebel viewers, I am Kyle Randolph. I've been a part of the Rebel Report this semester and was a part of filming Season 10 Episode 5. Here, we'll dig deep into that episode and show you insiders, interviews, and what it was like to shoot the episode. Let's check it out. During every episode of the Rebel Report, Ryan Goodman monitors the students that produce the show from the control room. Every episode is special in its own way, as they all have unique twists and turns. Episode 5 was no different.
Some of it was out of our control. It was a weird production schedule for that show, just because with Veterans Day falling on Thursday, we didn't have class that day, so we ended up having to wait a full week before we actually filmed the show from when we planned the show out. So I think just that extra long weekend kind of threw everyone off a little bit.
Every student's role is major in each episode of the Rebel Report, but no episode can be done without an anchor.
I'm Jared Thompson, a student in the Rebel Report class, and in Season 10, Episode 5, I was the anchor.
Jared Thompson has been a student for the current season of the Rebel Report, and he has anchored a show before.
As an anchor, me and my fellow anchor, Brandon, I think we really prepared well for it. We looked over the script beforehand, knew what we were going to talk about. When we talk about hockey, there's a lot of foreign names, so it's not easy to pronounce some names, but we were able to learn them, pronounce them, and honestly, the whole reading went smooth the entire way out, no blotches.
The anchoring was done fantastically during Episode 5. But one of the main reasons that the episode was so much different than the others is because it featured a live studio interview with former UNLV basketball player and current analyst, Curtis Terry.
My name is Alex Wright, and I interviewed Curtis Terry for episode 5 of the Rebel Report this season.
A lot of preparation has to happen when interviewing anybody, let alone a special guest for an in-person interview.
Just in terms of my uh, research process, kind of just had to look at what was kind of going on these first couple of games for UNLV when we did the interview, and also Curtis played with Kevin Kruger when Kevin played at UNLV, and they have a pretty good relationship dating back to before their time at UNLV when Kevin's dad Lon was the coach of the Atlanta Hawks, and Curtis's brother Jason was a member of the Atlanta Hawks at the time. So those two go way back, and it was definitely important to ask about how he sees his friend Kevin growing into a head coaching role.
That episode was special in its own way, just like every other episode is. Once again, I'm Kyle Randolph from the Rebel Report. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this.
Up next, we end our season with the heartbeat of UNLV athletics, the Rebellion.
Hey, Alex, you ready to record the podcast?
Yeah, Barry, I'm ready. Let's get it going.
All right, sounds good. In 3, 2, 1. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Rebel Report podcast for another edition of What They Did Right with Alex Wright. I'm Brandon Steele talking UNLV football. Alex, what did you think of last week's game? Alex?
Oh,
Alex?
My bad, Brandon. I was looking up on Rebel Report's website. They got a ton of new content. VGK, the Raiders, Golden Knights, UNLV football. They got a ton of stuff, new articles that just were published today.
All right, man. Sounds good. No worries. So I guess we'll go ahead and just redo the intro for our podcast. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Rebel Report podcast. I am Brandon Steele alongside Alex Wright for another edition of What They Did Right. How you doing today, Alex? Alex, you good, man? What's going on?
Oh, my bad, Brandon. I just saw they posted the latest episode of Rebel Report. It's up right now on their YouTube page and their Facebook page.
Oh, a new episode's out now?
Yeah.
All right. So we might have to wrap this up and go watch that episode then.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. Get caught up on what's happening at UNLV and Las Vegas sports, then get back to our podcast. Make sure it gets posted on the Rebel Report website.
The Mountain West Volleyball Tournament took place, and the UNLV Rebels came in as the number 4 seed. They took on the New Mexico Lobos and the Colorado State Rams in the first 2 rounds, recording victories in both sets, setting up a battle against the Boise State Broncos in the championship. However, UNLV would fall to the Broncos in 4 sets. Mariana Hayden had another double-double, and Shelby Kapelach had a match-high 14 digs, but it was not enough for the Rebels to get the victory. UNLV did earn a bid in the National Invitational Volleyball Championship Tournament and will take on the New Mexico State Aggies in the first round.
At every UNLV athletics home event, all students get a free ticket to attend the games. All students cheer on the Rebels from the student section, known as the Rebellion. Let's learn more about the group passionate about the Scarlet and Gray. At every UNLV athletics home event, whether it's football at Allegiant Stadium, basketball at the Thomas and Mack Center, or any other venue on campus, you will always hear the Rebellion cheering loud and proud for the Scarlet and Gray. Formed in 2012, the Rebellion is the official student section of all UNLV athletics events. Whether you are an active member of the organization or just a student who enjoys watching the games, all students are welcome into the Rebellion for every Rebel game. Madison Alexander is the president of the Rebellion, and she says the organization was started because people wanted a way to cheer on the Rebels. As president, Alexander spoke on the importance of the Rebellion to help get the campus engaged.
So obviously as a commuter campus, it's kind of hard to get people engaged. And so we want to make it like an actual college experience. We want to make sure people are having fun. It's important to support like our student athletes, especially since they are playing for the fans, basically. They want to go pro or whatever, but like a lot of times they're here, they're looking for the fans to come out and cheer for them. And so just like we want to have a normal college experience as well as making sure that they feel like they're doing good.
The Rebellion also works with UNLV athletics to do giveaways and coordinate appropriate scheduling with their theme nights for the games. That relationship has helped grow the Rebellion into what it is now.
So we have a pretty good relationship with athletics. They kind of just help us make sure we're kind of on track, and also give us like these opportunities that like we wouldn't have if we didn't have a connection with them. So like this for football season, we gave away like, oh, at the first game, if you enter this giveaway, you can try and go on the field and go take a photo with you and some of your friends, or like things like that. They're able to give us the opportunities that like we probably wouldn't get offered, or like free giveaway tickets or whatever. So it's really nice that we have them there.
One of the more passionate members of the Rebellion is Jake Gruel, who oversees operations with the Rebellion and its members. Gruel and the other members of the Rebellion see an opportunity to grow the organization with new students coming to UNLV to have school pride and cheer on the Rebels.
Now that they're here in college, what they want to do is get involved. They want to have fun. They want to do what they couldn't do for the past 2 years, being locked in their houses. So getting these students out to games and getting them excited to be part of live sports again is something that's really exciting to us, that we can get them in here and we can create that crazy environment.
With the return of live sports and fans back into the arenas, Alexandra and the entire Rebellion is excited for the return, which will help grow the Rebellion back.
It's definitely on the way back up because there's been a lot of like downtime for everybody, and everybody's been trying to go see Allegiant Stadium because they're kind of first time with a lot of fans in the crowd, Allegiant Stadium, and also like basketball, like half the school hasn't seen it. So it's been a lot of fun trying like get people out there.
Any UNLV student who is passionate about UNLV sports can be a part of the Rebellion just by attending games and sitting in the student section. Those who want to be more involved with the organization can reach out to the Rebellion on their social media channels or through the UNLV Involvement Center to learn more.
That will do it for this season of Rebel Report.
Thank you for watching.